Hello everyone, and welcome to Earth Archives. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's both intriguing and mysterious, the sixth sense. Have you ever had the experience of walking into a completely unfamiliar place and suddenly feeling that everything is so familiar, as if you've been there before? Or after experiencing certain events, feeling like you had already foreseen everything, even remembering how you felt at the time? Even more fascinating, sometimes you might inexplicably sense that someone is thinking of you before they call you, or for a brief moment, you might know exactly what someone is about to say before they even open their mouth. Are these feelings just coincidences, or do we have a deeper sense, one that can be described as the mysterious ability of the sixth sense? The sixth sense refers to a special intuition or feeling beyond our common five senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, suggesting that humans seem to have some unique ability to perceive things that cannot be understood through regular means. This ability appears to allow us to foresee certain events or, at special moments, have a beyond normal perception, knowing what will happen in the future. Although there is no consensus in the scientific community regarding the sixth sense, many explorations have been conducted. Some scientists believe that the sixth sense is actually a manifestation of the brain's complex information processing. Our brains are constantly receiving vast amounts of information, much of which we are not consciously aware of, yet the brain is able to analyze and make judgments through the subconscious. It's like walking into an unfamiliar environment. Although nothing seems out of the ordinary, the brain has already made predictions based on past experiences and subtle environmental changes, creating a sense of familiarity. Of course, aside from the scientific explanation, there are many who believe that the sixth sense is a supernatural ability, allowing us to perceive energies or information that ordinary people cannot. In certain cultures and religious systems, there are frequent mentions of abilities like intuition or precognition, which are seen as a connection between humans and the universe, nature, or mysterious forces. Regardless of the explanation, the existence of the sixth sense remains a mystery, yet it offers us endless possibilities for imagination. After all, life often presents us with incredible moments that make us wonder, could it be that we really foreknew the future, guided by some form of subconscious intuition? Or is it possible that our perceptive abilities go beyond the limits we imagine? What exactly is the sixth sense? You've probably heard of the fifth sense, right? Yes, it refers to the five senses we commonly talk about: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These senses allow us to directly perceive the world around us. However, have you ever wondered if, beyond these conventional senses, we might have a superior form of perception? This is what we call the sixth sense. It's referred to by scientists as extrasensory perception, ESP, a special ability that goes beyond the usual senses. Unlike the five senses we are familiar with, the sixth sense allows us to break through the limits of time and space, perceiving future events, and even detecting things that our eyes cannot see or our ears cannot hear. So what exactly is the sixth sense? You might think it sounds like something from a science fiction movie, or even a bit unreal. After all, how can one perceive events that haven't happened yet, or sense someone else's thoughts without any external stimuli? However, this phenomenon of extrasensory perception is not entirely fictional. Scientists have been studying the sixth sense for many years, and while no consensus has been reached, many intriguing experiments and cases suggest that some people do indeed possess abilities that differ from the conventional senses. The sixth sense is often described as telepathy, precognition, or an intuitive judgment of events that are about to happen. Imagine this. You suddenly think of a friend who is going to call you, and not long after, they really do call. Or before an event, you have a strange feeling that something is going to happen. It might sound like a coincidence, but for many people, this phenomenon doesn't seem to be accidental. The scientific community has some theories that attempt to explain this phenomenon. Some believe that the sixth sense is the brain's processing and response to vast amounts of information, much of which is unconsciously perceived and flagged as a warning through our subconscious mind. In addition to psychological explanations, some believe that the sixth sense is an ability left over from the process of human evolution, one that allows us to react to dangers or sudden events. Whether it's perceiving the outside world through intuitive means or being able to foresee future scenarios, perhaps this is the survival instinct that nature has gifted us. There are also more mysterious explanations suggesting that the sixth sense is a conduit connecting humans with the universe or supernatural forces. Many cultures and religious systems mention similar abilities, viewing them as a bridge to communicate with the unknown world. While this has not been scientifically proven, for those who believe in the sixth sense, this perception beyond the physical world seems to be a mysterious and undeniable presence. So, what exactly makes some people able to possess such special abilities? This is a question that remains unanswered. Scientists are conducting various experiments in an attempt to uncover its mysteries, but the true nature of the sixth sense is still a puzzle. Perhaps each of us has untapped potential far beyond our imagination, and perhaps future scientific discoveries will finally lift the veil on this mysterious phenomenon. The origins of the sixth sense, from ancient beliefs to modern science. The concept of the sixth sense is not a recent phenomenon. Its origins can be traced back to ancient times. Thousands of years ago, humans began exploring the soul and the spiritual world, believing that we are not merely made of flesh and bone, but that the existence of the mind and soul is equally important. Ancient civilizations, especially Eastern cultures, often linked the concept of the soul to an invisible and intangible yet crucial presence, believing that the soul not only existed within humans, but also in other living beings and even in inanimate objects. This idea provided fertile ground for the emergence of the sixth sense. As time progressed, by the 18th century, practices such as witchcraft, hypnosis, and fortune-telling began to gain popularity in Europe and other parts of the world. These practices not only satisfied people's curiosity about the mysterious and the unknown, but also gradually propelled the development of the concept of spiritual perception. People began to attempt to explain phenomena that could not be perceived through the conventional five senses, believing that certain human abilities might transcend the limitations of the physical world and perceive dimensions beyond the ordinary. This exploration of soul and spiritual perception gradually shifted from mysticism to scientific inquiry. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, scientists began to take an interest in these phenomena, especially with the advancement of fields like psychology and psychoanalysis, which deepened research into the soul, consciousness, and the subconscious. Among them, Dr. Joseph B. Rhine of the United States is considered one of the pioneers of research into the sixth sense. In the 1920s, Dr. Rhine began conducting a series of psychological experiments to explore extrasensory perception (ESP), and his research laid the foundation for our current understanding of the sixth sense. Dr. Joseph B. Rhine and the Foundation of Parapsychology. Dr. Joseph B. Rhine is undoubtedly one of the key pioneers in the field of extrasensory perception (ESP) research. In 1928, he established a parapsychology laboratory at Duke University in the United States, where he began exploring whether humans possess certain extraordinary perceptual abilities. His research focused on phenomena that could not be detected through the conventional five senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, such as telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, and other supernatural abilities. Dr. Rhine's interest in the field was sparked by a lecture on supernatural phenomena given by the famous London physician and author of the Sherlock Holmes series, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Doyle's discussion of cases involving paranormal occurrences deeply fascinated Dr. Rhine, leading him to develop a strong interest in the potential of human extraordinary perceptual abilities. Consequently, Dr. Rhine devoted himself to studying this mysterious area, hoping to find scientific evidence to prove that humans are indeed capable of perceiving information beyond the scope of the five senses. In 1930, Dr. Rhine published a paper on the theory of extrasensory perception (ESP), in which he proposed a bold hypothesis. Humans do not solely rely on the five senses for perception, but also possess an inherent ability to perceive information through extraordinary means. His research primarily focused on three types of ESP abilities: telepathy, the transmission of thoughts between minds; clairvoyance, the ability to perceive hidden objects or events; and precognition, the ability to predict future events. Through a series of experiments, especially using the Zener cards, a set of cards with different symbols, designed to test psychological phenomena, Dr. Rhine sought to verify the existence of extrasensory perception. Although his methods have faced some criticism, there is no denying that Dr. Rhine's research opened the door to global exploration of the sixth sense, inspiring many to delve deeper into this phenomenon. Dr. Rhine's theory of extrasensory perception and his experimental results not only garnered widespread attention in academia, but also sparked significant public interest in the sixth sense. Despite this, there remains considerable controversy within the scientific community regarding the authenticity of the sixth sense. Many argue that these phenomena may simply be psychological coincidences or misunderstandings, rather than genuine supernatural occurrences. Nevertheless, Dr. Rhine's pioneering research laid the groundwork for future studies on extrasensory perception. To this day, numerous scientists and scholars continue to explore the boundaries of the human subconscious, striving to uncover the mystery behind the sixth sense. Silva Mind Techniques, developing extrasensory perception. In the field of extrasensory perception research, Silva Mind techniques undoubtedly hold an important place. Silva, a self-taught psychologist, developed a specialized course aimed at training the human sixth sense through a series of unique experiments and methods. His work is designed to help ordinary people awaken their latent extrasensory abilities. His research methods have garnered significant attention and have had a huge global impact. The core theory of Silva's work is that the human brain is more likely to activate extrasensory abilities in a low-frequency state. In simple terms, he believes that when the brain is in a relaxed state, a person's perceptive abilities become more sensitive, allowing them to transcend the limitations of the regular five senses and enter an extraordinary cognitive mode. This low-frequency state is not sleep or unconsciousness, but rather a relaxed meditative and focused state similar to the alpha wave frequency experienced during meditation. Silva believes that by adjusting the brain's frequency, an individual's intuition and perceptual abilities can be awakened, enabling them to sense future information, read other people's thoughts, and even predict upcoming events. To test this theory, Silva conducted a series of experiments, particularly focusing on training children. He found that some trained children were able to accurately predict future events without any external cues, and could even provide astonishing answers before questions were fully asked. These results not only shocked Silva himself, but also attracted widespread attention across various sectors of society. In the performances of these children, we saw some nearly unbelievable abilities. They were able to accurately guess the content of upcoming TV programs and even provide answers to some math problems before the questions were fully presented. Silva's research findings and training methods, especially the potential displayed in children, compel us to reconsider the immense capabilities of the human brain and the reality of extrasensory perception. His training methods go beyond the ability to predict the future, also enhancing intuition, telepathy, and other aspects of extrasensory abilities. Silva's theory offers a groundbreaking perspective. Extrasensory perception is not a mysterious, inexplicable power, but a capability that can be activated through training and adjusting the brain state. Silva's research has sparked strong reactions in the field of extrasensory perception, providing compelling evidence for further research in this area. Despite ongoing skepticism and controversy within the scientific community, Silva's work has undoubtedly led more people to pay attention to and explore this domain. His training courses and methods have also spread and been applied globally. Today, many self-improvement, meditation, and extrasensory perception courses have been influenced, to varying degrees, by Shiva's Research Ideas. Modern research, the integration of sixth sense and science. With the development of technology, scientific research on the sixth sense has deepened, and more experiments are being conducted to verify the existence of this extraordinary ability. In 1974, scientists published a highly influential paper in Nature magazine, suggesting that humans may possess an unknown sense capable of perceiving and receiving information beyond the range of our conventional five senses. This theory sparked extensive discussion within the scientific community, especially regarding the idea that under specific conditions, some individuals can perceive things that ordinary senses cannot detect. One of the most iconic experiments took place at Stanford University in California with Uri Geller, a famous figure who claimed to possess extrasensory perception abilities as the subject. Geller asserted that he could not only read others' thoughts via telepathy, but also bend metal objects with his mind. In the Stanford experiment, researchers tested Geller's abilities by asking him to accurately depict the patterns inside an envelope, relying solely on his perception of external changes within a completely sealed environment. Astonishingly, Geller was able to reproduce the patterns inside the envelope with surprising accuracy, though not every attempt was flawless. This experiment attracted significant attention and provided evidence for the study of the sixth sense. However, despite the widespread discussion sparked by this experiment, not everyone is convinced of Geller's abilities. In 2007, skeptic Ray Hyman summarized his observations of Geller's abilities during a lecture at Simon Fraser University. He pointed out, "The fact is, no scientist has ever witnessed Geller bending any objects without physically touching them. And usually not only does he handle the objects, but he also hides in a bathroom for a while. People just believe what he says." Hyman's perspective sheds light on the source of Geller's fame. Many people did not directly witness his so-called abilities, but accepted them through hearsay. More significantly, aside from a few scientists like Puthoff and Targ, it seems that no one has been able to witness Geller successfully demonstrate his extrasensory abilities under strictly controlled conditions. This has led to significant challenges in the scientific community's acceptance of his powers. Many believe that Geller's abilities rely more on clever techniques and psychological suggestion from the audience rather than true supernatural power. The brain and the sixth sense. As scientists delve deeper into the study of the sixth sense, they're gradually discovering that certain specific areas of the brain seem to be closely linked to this extraordinary perceptual ability. In 2005, research from the University of Washington revealed a startling discovery. When humans encounter inexplicable precognitive phenomena, certain brain regions become unusually active. These active areas seem to be able to issue early warnings, alerting individuals to potential dangers, and even react to future events. This discovery provides a new perspective on our understanding of the sixth sense, suggesting that the brain may indeed have a special mechanism that allows it to perceive future or invisible events without clear sensory input. Researchers believe this phenomenon may be similar to the heightened sensitivity displayed by animals when sensing an impending natural disaster, such as an earthquake. For example, some animals show abnormal behavior before an earthquake, as if they can sense changes that humans cannot perceive. Similarly, the human brain might, in certain situations, be able to detect subtle environmental changes, alerting individuals to potential risks or even accurately predicting future events. However, why isn't everyone able to possess this ability? This question has led scientists to ponder. Some theories suggest that the information overload and life stress in modern society may be one of the reasons we have gradually lost our extrasensory perception. As technology advances, our lives have become increasingly complex, and the sources of information more fragmented. The fast pace of society and intense competition have also made it harder for us to maintain high levels of sensitivity to our surroundings, making it difficult to remain attuned to subtle changes. In ancient times, human survival depended more on perceiving subtle environmental changes, such as weather shifts, signs of natural disasters, or even keen intuition in hunting and avoiding predators. Therefore, some scientists believe that as the brain evolved and societal environments changed, we gradually lost these sharp perceptual abilities. Other scientists argue that while the pressures of modern society and information overload may have suppressed human extrasensory abilities, they still lie dormant in our genes, in an unactivated state. In other words, the sixth sense has not entirely disappeared, but is instead filtered and shielded by the brain's adaptation and evolutionary processes. In modern society, our senses are more reliant on traditional ways of perception, such as sight and hearing, while extrasensory perception might be viewed as an unnecessary backup function that can still be awakened under certain circumstances. The relationship between the sixth sense and magnetic fields. Have you ever wondered why some animals always seem to find their way home, whether it's their distant hometown or a destination across the ocean? In fact, these remarkable animals rely on the Earth's magnetic field. From migratory birds to sea turtles on their oceanic journeys, these animals can use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate long distances, even pinpointing their direction with incredible accuracy. This phenomenon leads humans to wonder, what about us? Can we sense magnetic fields too? In fact, scientists have already begun to explore this question in depth. According to a study from the California Institute of Technology, as early as 2019, researchers discovered that the human brain may possess some form of magnetic sensing ability. This discovery has changed our understanding of the brain's sensory capabilities. Traditionally, we believe that human senses primarily rely on vision, hearing, touch, taste, and smell to perceive the world. But this new study suggests that magnetic field detection may also be part of our sensory repertoire. In other words, the human brain may not only respond to light, sound, and taste, but could also sense changes in the Earth's magnetic field. This finding provides scientific support for what we often refer to as the sixth sense. Imagine there is a mysterious force around us, silently existing like a magnetic field. Perhaps each of us has experienced moments of intuition, like an inexplicable sense of being lost, or a subtle sense of direction that seems to appear out of nowhere. Maybe that's our brain unconsciously sensing the changes in the surrounding magnetic field. This doesn't mean that we can migrate long distances like animals, but rather that our perception abilities might be more complex and sensitive than we think. So, what does this discovery tell us about understanding the sixth sense? Traditionally, the sixth sense has been seen as a supernatural power, closely associated with intuition, premonitions, and similar phenomena. However, with the continuous progress of science, we are gradually understanding that this superpower may not come from some mysterious force, but from our brain's subtle perception of changes in external environments, like magnetic fields and energy fields. Physics and the sixth sense, a bridge of science. Have you ever wondered if the sixth sense can actually be explained by physics? In this seemingly mysterious field, scientists are also working hard to explore the mysteries behind it. Professor Dean Radin, a scientist at Bell Labs, proposed an enlightening theory. He believes that physics and psychology might have originated from the same ancestor. He further suggests that phenomena like telepathy, intuition, and even the sixth sense could potentially be explained through the phenomenon of quantum entanglement in quantum mechanics. So, what is quantum entanglement? Simply put, quantum entanglement is a very strange phenomenon where the states of two particles affect each other, even if they are incredibly far apart. In other words, these two particles seem to be able to communicate with each other instantaneously, regardless of the distance between them, and without being restricted by space and time. Does this sound a bit like a scene from a sci-fi movie? However, this quantum entanglement phenomenon has already been confirmed in scientific experiments and has become a crucial part of quantum physics. So, what does this have to do with the sixth sense? According to Professor Dean Radin's theory, quantum entanglement could be the key to explaining phenomena like telepathy. The idea is that the human brain might, to some extent, function in a way similar to quantum particles, engaging in entanglement and synchronization. This means that when two people's consciousness or mental states are in a special entangled state, they might be able to perceive each other's emotions or thoughts without the need for words or any direct sensory input. This phenomenon could potentially explain what we call telepathy or the sixth sense. Imagine if our brains could entangle with the brains of others, much like quantum particles. In certain special circumstances, we might suddenly have a feeling that a friend is in trouble or that someone far away is experiencing a strong emotional shift. It may sound like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, but Professor Radin's theory offers a fresh perspective on these seemingly inexplicable phenomena. Activating the sixth sense, meditation, and deep relaxation. If the sixth sense really exists, how can we activate it? This question has sparked interest among many psychologists and mystics. According to Swiss psychologist Carl Jung's theory, the key to activating the sixth sense might lie in putting our brain into a state of low activity. This might sound unbelievable, but the underlying principle is closely related to how we let go of the clutter of daily thoughts and achieve a relaxed state of mind. Jung believed that when our brains are overactive and filled with distractions, intuition and inner perception are suppressed. Too much external information and internal thoughts make it difficult for us to capture the subtle signals around us. On the other hand, when we enter a calm and relaxed state, clearing our minds, our intuition and sixth sense may become clearer. This is why practices like meditation and sitting are so effective in enhancing the sixth sense. Meditation and similar practices help us let go of distractions and bring the brain into an unobstructed state. In this state, we are no longer disturbed by the noise of the outside world, and our inner perception abilities can be unleashed, making our intuition more sensitive. In such a state, you might find yourself perceiving things around you differently, perhaps suddenly knowing the answer to something or feeling strong, intuitive reactions to certain situations. These are the kinds of things we usually cannot easily notice in our everyday lives. The future of the sixth sense. With the rapid advancements in technology, research into the sixth sense continues to move forward. We may already be seeing how scientists are exploring this mysterious phenomenon through fields such as physics, neuroscience, and psychology, gradually uncovering the secrets behind these phenomena. In the future, with continuous technological breakthroughs, we may be able to activate and utilize this potential extraordinary ability through more sophisticated instruments, advanced training methods, and even innovations in quantum physics. Perhaps one day, we will be able to capture and decode those perception signals we have previously overlooked, making the sixth sense a part of our daily lives. Whether through traditional methods like meditation and deep thinking, or with the help of modern technology, the ways and paths to activate the sixth sense seem full of endless possibilities. It may not just be about predicting the future or telepathy, but rather a heightened sensitivity to external messages and a deeper awareness of our surroundings. Perhaps this ability isn't limited to individuals with special abilities, but is an inherent potential within every person, just waiting to be discovered and activated. So, have you ever had such a remarkable intuitive experience? Maybe there was a moment when you suddenly felt that something was about to happen, or you were guided by some unknown force to make a certain choice. Could these seemingly random experiences be signals from our sixth sense? If you've had similar experiences, feel free to share your story in the comment section, and let's exchange and discuss these fascinating experiences together. Thank you for watching. If you found this topic interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. In the future, we'll bring more exciting and thought-provoking content. Join us next time as we continue to explore the unknown.